Hey, what's up? Scott Balcom here with Imagination Creation Films, and today, well, we're talking about motion control, specifically the Kessler second shooter system, and why it is still the best motion control system out there on the market today, despite what others think. So today's not about pretty. It's not about making me look pretty on camera. It's not really actually possible. It's all messy in the background. Why? Because I'm sitting in my easy chair, which is how I like to do my motion control. It's kind of just armchair art, and I love it. And this is one of the reasons why the Kessler system ends up being the best motion control system out there that is within, $100,000. There's a lot of them out there on the market, and they're fine, don't get me wrong, but they can't do what this can do. And I'm showing you that right now. So just sitting here briefly, I've got my mouse on my right, I got my iPad controlling my red camera, I've got my laptop set up controlling my entire motion control rig, and I've got my monitor right here so I can see what's coming out of my red. And this is the beauty of this whole system. I'm going to show you how I do and set up a shot. I'm going to talk about the conception of the shot itself. What is it that I want to achieve and how do I want to get it? We're going to actually do it. I have a hiccup coming. And I'll give you a little tour on the rig that I've set up. And that is one of the beauties of the Kessler second shooter system is you can keep expanding it. And it's super powerful and you can just configure it the way you want. You're not locked into any one configuration. If you want that configuration, you can do it. If you want to expand it and do other things that they hadn't thought about, you can do it. And just to be clear, this is not a sponsored video. They are not paying me to say any of this. You've been using this product for many years now. I absolutely love it. And I keep seeing these other ads for these other brands. They keep saying how great theirs are. They can't do what this can do. It's amazing. Yeah. So join me here. Let's dig in a little bit. All right, so here is my little workstation that I configure and set up. So we have just a laptop, and this runs on Windows or Mac, or it'll run on an iPad if you want it to. I just find it easier to work on a laptop. And this is the Kessler Chaos system. I don't know if they call it Chaos or Cause. I like to call it Chaos. I think it's kind of cool that way. But that's their motion control software, and it's better than just an app that lets you store a couple of configurations. And we'll show you. Here's the preview monitor right here, and you can see we have over here, and I'll show that just here right now. You can see that we have we're going to change this up a little bit. There we go. We have a piano. Well, it's a little tiny micro piano. And we're also shooting with the Laowa probe lens. Oh yeah, review coming on that real soon. So what I've done here, and all I wanted to do was just kind of orbit around a center key on the keyboard. And so if we look here, let me just stop here and go to scrub. So I can control where it goes. It's not actually performing the move, I'm just scrubbing. So it's going to find the fastest way to get there. So you can see it lines back up. So this is basically the move. That's the end point right there. And then this is the start point right here. Again, don't pay attention to what that's doing. That's getting the fastest, most efficient way to get there. But we're basically centering right here on this key. All right, so if we look over here on the screen, what we have here is a timeline. And this is the timeline right here. And you can see the time in seconds up top. This is a 1 minute and 23-second move. These are the different axes that are out there. And you can see I have a slider, a pan, a tilt, a cine-slider, and a focus. And the reason I have these like this, the slider is my main dolly. That's the Kessler shuttle dolly. The pan is the pan module. Tilt is obviously up and down. The cine-slider, I actually have this on an XY, so I can move forward and I can move side to side. Doing that allows me to actually create curves. Again, something you can't do on the others. And then I also have a focus. You could also have iris. You can have a lot of things. You can keep expanding the unit out. 6-axis, no problem. So to set it up, you basically go to the start of your move, and then you just take your slider and you say, oh, let's see, I want to put it right here. And I'm shooting this at 4 frames a second. I'm doing that for the amount of light because that probe lens requires a ton of light. And yeah, so I'm shooting at 4 frames a second. That gives me a whole lot more light capability. So all I got to do is find where do I want this to be. Line it up. Oh, that's too far. Go back. I mean, I'm just sitting here literally in my armchair. And then you go down here and you click record keyframe, and then that will record a keyframe. Then you can advance to the end if you want just a simple move, and then you do the same thing, you record a keyframe. You can have, I think it's 200 keyframes. It may be 100, I know it was 30 for a while. I've never used more than 30. It is amazing. But you can have all the keyframes you want in here, which means it can do all kinds of things. But now let me just go to a new move here. I don't want to mess this one up. I want to show you what this can do because this is kind of cool. So let's take our cine-slider or our dolly. We'll go back. And we're going to go here to the beginning, and we're going to record a keyframe. And then we're going to go to the end, and we're going to go up to here. And we're going to record a keyframe right here. Now, it's not over with. Now, if you see here, it's a dotted line. That means that the 1 minute that I have set is not fast enough. You would need to go to whatever it says. If I click load, it'll say the move time is 1 minute and 5 seconds. So you just adjust it right down here. But if I go up here and I'm going to, yep, I got my Bezier curves. Check this out. I can now take my slider, which is the blue one, click on it, and I get a handle, a cusp handle. Now I can create a Bezier curve. Yeah, a Bezier curve, which allows me to do what none of the others can do. Because if I am tracking, if I'm looking at this point right here, and I want to keep it in focus the whole way as I go by, well, this is further, let's do it this way. When I go by, I'm getting closer and then I get further away. Well, that's not a perfect arc. So to do an arc, I need to move back as I go. So as I go here, I need to pull back, and then I need to get back in closer. You can't do that with a simple point and shoot or a point and click or even move it, and then you can't do that. Now, some of them have smoothing, but just how smooth is it? Well, it ain't this smooth. Bezier curves, that's smooth. And you can make it do a full-on movement. You can adjust focus as you need. And the beauty of it is, as I go and I say scrub, and I go, well, let's just take this up just a little bit because that's going to send it all the way across my table. Let's see here. All right, like that. And then we'll do it like that. Okay, so now if I go scrub and I choose to go there, it's going to move to where it is right there. Now I know it's there, and I mean, this is not the shot that I want. I can go here. I can go here, and you can see it's starting to come back now. All of that control in this simple little software. Now let's go back to this move. And you can have all of these moves. You just keep adding them in. And you can have seriously complex moves. If you saw that Aperture 300D Mark II video, that had something like 12 keyframes in it, and it moved all over the place. This one is just a simple one, but let's just load it up, and let's just see what it does. Start from the beginning, 1 minute and 35 seconds. All right. Which one is this one? Yeah, this one. Okay. 1 minute and 35 seconds. So I just type in 35, load it up. And it's 100% repeatable. What that means is that I can hit record here on my iPad, which is going to record to my red, and I can do a pass. Then I can go back, start again, and then add something to it, and then add something to it, and then add something to it. Each time, it's adding to the shot. And now, I can layer these on my timeline, and I can intercut them, and it will just stack them perfectly, and it'll look like they just got added in real time. That's the beauty right there. All right, we've loaded it up. Now it's time to go. Let's go. 2 seconds. We'll just take a record. And there's very little noise with it. I mean, there's a slight amount of motor hum, but on like a typical move, a lot of people say, oh, how much noise is there when you're doing it as like a B cam? If you're moving it, there's almost no noise. You won't hear it. It is no louder than anything else in the room. And it's nice. I've got 4-axis over there, and that's the sound you hear. That's it. If you can even hear it. I doubt it. And that's the beauty of it. Here I am mic'd up with a lav mic like you would, or a shotgun, and you can't hear it. That's what I'm talking about. See, it's just continuing to do the move. You can see my playback time here as it's progressing through the move. And we're done. So I stop recording. Well, let's just watch that back. Okay, and boom. There's our gorgeous, very smooth motion control shot with an orbit around a key, moving in and out, side to side. All right, so taking a look over here at our shot that we're doing, you can see I have the red, it's hung upside down. This is their tilt module. This is their pan module. I'll be doing a different version of this here very soon. Stay tuned for that. This is their 3-foot Cineslider, and it is hung upside down, and you can see it is all the way up here, and it is hanging upside down, underslung from the shuttle dolly, which is on 2 9-foot rails. So that allows this axis to go this way, and tilt, or pan, tilt, yep, all that good stuff. And it's it's really easy to configure. The one thing you can't do with the Kessler is you can't do the point it yourself like you can on the others. But honestly, I think that's literally the difference in why this is 100% repeatable. It has so much control, is because when you start manually moving things, it's not going to be able to count that properly. Because it has to count exactly how many ticks, to move. And the Kesslers are very high resolution. But this is not a Kessler branded configuration. This is my branded configuration. I built this. I built this specifically to do this kind of stuff, and my product shots, well, they got better for it. So now I have basically a cinema robot control just built out of Kessler parts. It's great, and you just keep stacking it on. This is the focus motor right here. And again, you can put an iris motor on there if you wanted. This is the Laowa probe lens, review coming soon. It's just kind of amazing. So yeah, I think that should cover all the bases. I use the Kessler quick release receivers on this so that I can actually just take parts. So I can take the pan and tilt off and just mount the camera directly to it. I've got the same thing up here. I can just keep mounting different parts everywhere. And I love that because it just makes my life a little easier, a little faster. And it all runs off of just a standard V-mount battery. I just use a little P-tap on there. And then the controllers are up top and they're wireless. It's great. You just hook up to Wi-Fi and connect and you're good. You can connect it with your phone. You can connect it with your laptop. Piece of cake. So as always, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section down below. I try to read and respond to each and every one, even if it's just to say thanks. Remember to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. We can still be friends. I have a Patreon if you wish to support me that way. I'd love some supporters that way. I have a PayPal if you want to support me that way. Also, Amazon links down below if you wish to purchase anything. Just click through a link and send me $1 or so. It's no big deal. It's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. You still get the same great price. And as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions.